Hamza is making videos aimed at weak young men who don't know what they want out of life and they don't know how to get it. He is preying on them to grow his audience so he has more people to sell his products to and profit off, whilst he's teaching them how to be happy, fulfilled, confident and jacked. That's right, these incels have no role models, no strong father figures. Society and the education system has failed them, and Hamza is giving them a path and a plan to conquer their demons and make something of themselves. That sounds pretty good to me. I didn't even watch my first Hamza video until about a week ago. Up until then, like, I'd seen he'd been recommended to me by YouTube so much. For some reason I was just never interested. And then finally I found the thumbnail and title that I was interested in, and for some reason I clicked on it and I watched it. And I realized I've been missing out this whole time. Despite that his videos are sort of aimed for people, I would say, further behind me on their self-improvement journey. I don't have the problems that he caters to, this Jeffrey and Adonis. I'm already an Adonis. You know, I don't play video games, I'm on NoFap, already building a successful business. So I feel like his sort of catering to what James Kirby described as the bottom 1 to 5% of men, and we'll get to that in a second. I think that was a really mean thing to say. But despite him aiming at that audience, I still felt that the videos were super relevant to me as a young man, and I left them inspired. And I am not someone that gets inspired by someone else like that easily, and I think there is something about the way he shares so much about himself, the way he looks deep at you through the camera. Point being, I was really, really impressed with his content. And also, I gotta be honest, the growth of his YouTube channel and how he's growing so quickly. Now, despite me kissing his ass so much right now, I think he's full of shit on a bunch of things. You can see other YouTubers also pointing that out. Most notably, I saw a video with James Kirby, where James Kirby was basically describing that Hamza was using dirty tactics to grow his channel, trying to pull him down. And James was basically saying that that's how it goes, and maybe he would have done the same thing in that exact same situation. But I see a lot of critique, and that also came from James Kirby, about him appealing to the bottom 1 to 5% of young men, the words incel being thrown around. But all these criticisms that I've seen, they're basically saying that Hamza is selling hope to these incels. He is making them feel good, making them feel that they can be better than they are. And these people are saying it as though that's a bad thing. I mean, what could be better than giving someone that's feeling down, depressed, low energy, what could be better than inspiring them and making them feel like there's more to life? And look, it's achievable, because Hamza himself shows you his journey, where I was down in the dumps, I was playing video games, masturbating, smoking weed, and look at me now I'm rich, jacked, handsome, traveling, and I'm learning, I'm journaling. You know, it's really inspiring. He makes you feel like it's doable for you, and it's just fun to watch his journey. But I also do think that he's a ruthless son of a bitch. I think he's used some dirty tactics to try and grow on his YouTube channel. He's admitted them himself. Even in that James Kirby video, he talked about Hamza spamming his Reddit thread to sell his Skillshare course and whatnot. And, you know, you got to do those things to grow in the beginning. And if you look at some of his videos on his unfiltered channel, he talks about how he's made exact audience profiles of people that he wants to target. He's written it down about the exact person that he wants to have watching him, and he uses the word autistic about it, but I think it's more like sociopathic or psychopathic, where he has the exact person he wants to target, and then he's catering his videos to those people. With someone that's trying to grow their channel so intentionally, and that it's working so well, I would be surprised if someone like that didn't bend the truth to make his character, his background, more relevant to the audience. And that's my main issue with him. I think that when he talks about being this loser and not getting girls, I don't think that's really true. I think that's true for most men. Most boys and men feel that at some stage growing up, where they couldn't get the girl they wanted, they weren't as strong, or there's many times where you're humbled as a teenager. And he shows photos of himself when he was younger and he didn't look as masculine, and there his before and after photos. But yeah, I mean, going from 14 to 25 or whatever, however old he is now, there's going to be physical changes. You're going to tighten up and get stronger. He doesn't, in those photos, to me, he doesn't look like a loser at all. I think that's just young teenage boys don't look like particular chads at that age. And as for him having worked low-wage jobs and having smoked weed a lot, those things definitely could be true. My point is, I think that he is exaggerating how bad his life was and how bad he was feeling in order to relate to you, or if you're not his audience, then his audience, so that they would be more likely to watch him, more likely to subscribe, because that is a big part of his draw. He is so relatable for so many young men, so inspiring. Oh, he's just like me, and look at him now. He was just like me, and look at him now. That's a very smart way to grow your channel. I think that's what he's done. Now, this isn't the worst thing, of course. To some extent, every YouTuber does this. Even I have done it for, I started this channel based on mewing videos, and to some extent, I've probably exaggerated my transformation in order to appeal to a broader audience, be more dramatic. Hamza is simultaneously the most genuine guy on YouTube, sharing so much about his life as, I believe, a little bit ingenuine. It's that old trick where you take two truths and you mix in one lie, and it feels like it's all the truth. He shares such deeply personal, embarrassing parts of his life and his psyche that it's really easy to relate to him and be encouraged by him. You trust him, basically. Now, even if he was completely full of shit and it was all a lie, I still don't really see anything too wrong with that. I'm not saying that's the case, but think about it. He gets paid for growing the audience and selling them things that they want to buy. That's fantastic for him. That's a win. And this audience is inspired by his work, inspired to stop watching pornography and masturbating. They're inspired to start training in the gym, to try and start a business, to try and get more sun on their face. That's not a bad thing at all. The end outcome is a win for both parties. Even for me, who I believe has a good bullshit filter, which, maybe everyone thinks they do. I leave his videos inspired. Seriously. I'm excited for the topic I've just been listening to him discuss. I have this energy for self-improvement, new motivation to strive after my goals. For me, it's basically like watching, when I was 14, it was like watching Dragon Ball Z. I would get so much energy to go and train. This is how I feel after watching Hamza, not just necessarily for going to the gym, but for working on my business or for resisting temptation. Hamza genuinely makes young men feel good about themselves, good about the future. He gives them the vision of a bright future that they can work towards. That's fantastic. I don't understand why people try and pull him down for that. There's properly harmful issues and things and messages being spread everywhere. So I think if you're going to tear anything down, go for them. But maybe there isn't actually a lot of criticism of him anyway. Maybe it's just people making videos about him because having his name in the title gets a lot of views these days. A lot of people are searching for it. He even said in one of his videos how, make videos with my name in the title and you're gonna blow up, which is exactly what I'm doing. Hopefully his audience sees this and becomes my audience, or at least I just get a bunch of views. But I wouldn't have made a video on Hamza if I wasn't genuinely inspired by him and wanted to share my thoughts on him. I like his videos so much that I'm sort of going to turn this channel more to be like Hamza, share more about my journey and my business and my fitness lifestyle, just like he's doing, because I'm seeing how much good it is doing out there. Hamza, keep it up. Keep it right up.